Hi guys, Rob with Wicked Product Strops. This is one of my upgraded strops. The lanyard hole, I pressed in the back end of some casings, drilled a hole through it, ran my lanyard through it, took another shell casing, tied a couple Chris Reeve knots on the back end of this, dropped in some sort of adhesive, and jammed this on there. If you guys like this, go ahead and give me a like. Some comments are always appreciated, and I will add that as part of my line, but it will be a limited time every once in a while when I get some casings. But what we have here, this is a strop that I finally made for myself. Rough leather side, chromium oxide, smooth leather side. There's my logo there. Loaded with DMT diamond spray. Now, a gentleman bought a strop from me last night and questioned how to strop. And it's kind of one of those things where you just have to practice. Practice. You'll develop almost a muscle memory in your hand. You know, it took me a while. You can get an edge shiny, but shiny doesn't always equal sharp. So keep that in mind. Now the technique that I use, this is a cheap old Microtech Lightning that I was playing with, but when you set your blade down, set it down flat, and you'll kind of notice you might have to adjust your lighting, but there's gonna be a shadow on this leading edge here. Basically turn your blade until that shadow disappears, okay? And you'll kind of get an idea. You'll feel the blade actually sit and rest on it. And then when you do this, you don't want to bear down on it. You don't want to grind on the metal. Just the weight of the blade, a little bit of pressure from your hand. Okay, start at the tip. Okay, this is not a sharpening stone, so you don't want to go sharp edge into the leather. Start at the tip, work your way up, keeping that angle. Okay, let me adjust the camera here a little bit so you can get more of the full length of the strop. Okay. And you know, do a series. I mean, I always do, you know, 8 to 10 on one side, then flip it over, feel for that edge again, 8 to 10 on the other side. Then you check your work, and if you notice there's a black edge here, I tend to use that when I'm trying to get like down in there. So you can utilize all the surfaces on this strop. And I just finished sharpening this on my Lansky. Don't really have the money to upgrade to higher end. Eventually, someday, one day I will, but for now the Lansky works for me. I haven't had any problems with it. Keep a napkin handy. Wipe the blade down. A good way to check, I mean, obviously you can feel for it, but another way to check, put your fingernail and then put the blade up against it. If it bites into the fingernail, not pushing, without dropping, that's fairly sharp. And then scrap piece of paper somewhere nearby. So I feel that's good enough, but since I'm sitting here and I'm showing you guys this, the smooth side, which is the DMT diamond spray, again, not a lot of pressure, find your edge. Okay, you're not, at this point, you're not sharpening your blade anymore, guys. A lot of people still seem to think that a strop is for sharpening. It's not a sharpening system. It's not a sharpening strop. It's a honing. Okay, it refines that already sharp edge. As you can see, I'm not, you can tell by the sound, I'm not applying a lot of pressure. If I was applying a lot of pressure, you'd hear this. You know, actually, you'd hear almost nothing, because what I'm doing is I'm pushing onto it. You just want to hear, you know, you almost want your blade to sing across the strop. And again, don't get discouraged if you can't get it. It just takes practice, gentlemen. I mean, when I first started doing this a few years back, I mean, I could get a blade shiny, I could get that mirror edge, but I couldn't get it sharp because I hadn't trained my hand to feel that angle. And that angle can range anywhere from this one right here, I sharpened to 17 degrees on both sides, so 34 degree total inclusive. Again, this is just a play knife, a gimmick knife. It's sharp as hell right now, but a lot of my bigger knives, say my Benchmade Adamas, I'll bump up the degrees. I'll go 20, 22. I just want more of a sturdy edge on it. I don't want something that's so thin that I risk chipping the edge or anything, especially because those knives travel with me in a backpack when I go hiking or anything outdoorsy. Give it a wipe down. Let me see if I can adjust the lighting here. That reflection you're seeing, that's everything in the background. All day long, gentlemen. There you go. You have any questions? Facebook me, www.facebook.com/1 Strop. Again, this is Rob Riker with Wicked Strops, or Wicked Products. Thanks for visiting. Comments and likes are always appreciated. Have fun.